Imagine waking up one morning and your country is literally too hot to function. Schools are closed, public events are cancelled, power grids are struggling, wildfires are spreading, even nuclear power plants are shutting down. No, this is not the plot of a Hollywood disaster movie. This is Europe, June 2026, and scientists are calling it one of the most dangerous heat waves in modern history. The big question is, if some of the richest countries on earth are struggling with heat, what does that mean for the rest of us? Because this story isn't only about weather, it's about money, food, energy, politics, and the future of human civilization itself. Let's understand. Europe is cooking. This year, temperatures in several parts of Europe crossed 40 degrees Celsius. The United Kingdom broke its June heat record again. France postponed major public events. Poland issued wildfire warning. Emergency services were put on alert. For a continent famous for cold winters and pleasant summers, this is shocking. Imagine if someone told you 10 years ago that London could feel like North Africa. Most people would laugh. Today, nobody is laughing. At first glance, this looks like just another hot summer. People are buying ice creams, children are playing in fountains, tourists are posting pictures. But underneath all of this, Europe is facing a crisis much bigger than heat. But here is the part of the mainstream media completely ignored. Heat can actually shut down an entire country's economy. Yes, a simple rise in temperature can stop trains, damage roads, destroy crops, and even reduce electricity production. Let's see how. Why nuclear plants are shutting down. Many people think nuclear reactors create electricity from nothing. Actually, they need huge amounts of water. That water cools the reactors. But during heat waves, rivers become warmer, water levels drop, and suddenly the reactors cannot cool properly. So some plants are forced to reduce production or shut down. Imagine having an air conditioner during the hottest day of the year, and suddenly your electricity disappears. That's exactly the nightmare Europe is trying to avoid. History is warning us. This isn't the first time Europe has suffered from extreme heat. In 2003, Europe experienced one of the deadliest heat waves ever. More than 70,000 people died. Yes, 70,000. Mostly elderly people. Hospitals became overwhelmed. Cities were unprepared. The tragedy changed Europe forever. Governments promised to prepare for the future. Yet every few years, another record is broken. Another summer becomes the hottest ever. And every time scientists ask the same question, how many warnings do we need? To understand how bad this gets, we have to look at a map no one talks about. Look at southern Europe, Spain, Italy, Greece, France. These regions are becoming hotter and drier every year. Scientists call some of these areas climate hotspots, meaning they are warming faster than many parts of the world. And when temperature rise, wildfires follow. The fire problem. Poland is already warning about wildfire risks. Southern Europe has been battling massive fires for years. Entire villages have been evacuated. Forests have disappeared. Animals have died. Homes worth millions have turned into ashes. Think about it like this. A forest is like a giant dry sponge. The hotter it gets, the easier it catches fire. One lightning strike, one spark, one mistake, and thousands of hectares can disappear. The food crisis. Most people don't connect heat with food, but they should. Extreme temperatures damage crops. Farmers lose harvests. Food production falls. Prices rise. A loaf of bread could become expensive. Milk production can decline because even cows suffer from heat stress. Climate change is slowly entering our kitchens. But here's the twist nobody expected. Heat waves are now becoming a national security issue. Yes, national security. Why? Because climate disasters can create migration, economic problems, and political instability. And governments know it. Climate and geopolitics. When crops fail, people move. When water becomes scarce, Countries compete. When energy demand explodes, electricity prices rise, and when economies suffer, political tensions increase. Europe is now discussing climate adaptation not only as an environmental issue, but as a security issue. The military is studying climate risks. Government are creating emergency plans. Climate change has entered the world of geopolitics. The energy problem. During heat waves, everyone uses air conditioners. Electricity demand skyrockets. Power grids become stressed. If demand becomes too high, blackouts can happen. Europe already experienced energy problems after the Russia-Ukraine war. Now climate change is adding another layer of pressure. This means countries may invest more in renewable energy, battery storage, smart grids, and new cooling technologies. But here is the question that changes everything. What if this isn't the worst heat wave? What if this is the only beginning? The future. Scientists say heat waves are becoming longer, more frequent, and more intense. Every fraction of a degree matters. A world that is 2 degrees warmer is very different from today's world. Some cities may become difficult to live in during summers. Insurance costs could rise. Food could become more expensive. Water shortages could become normal. That is why governments around the world are spending billions on adaptation. New buildings, better warning systems, heat-resistant infrastructure, advanced weather forecasting, green energy, because preparing for heat is now becoming as important as preparing for war. Remember the question we asked at the beginning. If rich countries in Europe are struggling with heat, what happens to poorer countries with fewer resources? The answer is uncomfortable. This crisis is global, and it is already here. Europe's heat wave is not just Europe's problem. It is a preview, a warning, a message from the future. The real question is not, will climate change affect us? The real question is, are we ready for the world that is coming? Because the summer of 2026 may one day be remembered as the moment humanity realized that the climate crisis was no longer a future threat. It had arrived. If you learned something new today, hit like. Subscribe for more documentaries on geopolitics, history, and world affairs. And tell me in the comments, do you think the world is prepared for the extreme heat? See you in the next deep dive.